undertaken for your own good should be paid, but work which is undertaken for the public good should not be paid? Fiddlesticks, says he, she's a woman, and her family ought to support her. This opened up vistas of argument which I did not care to enter with the Honorable Cy, so I asked him whether he thought it would be nicer to have a real lawn or hay on the slope that leads to the gate. He likes to be consulted, and I pamper him as much as possible in all unessential details. You see, I am following Sandy's canny advice. Trustees are like fiddlestrings. They want to be screwed or tight. Honour them on, but gang your ain gait. Oh, the tact that this asylum is teaching me! I should make a wonderful politician's wife. Thursday night. You will be surprised to hear that I have temporarily placed out Punch with two charming spinsters who have long been tottering on the brink of a child. They finally came last week and said they would like to try one for a month, to see what the sensation felt like. They wanted, of course, a pretty ornament, dressed in pink and white, and descended from the Mayflower. I told them that anyone could bring up a daughter of the Mayflower to be an ornament to society, but the real feat was to bring up a son of an Italian organ-grinder and an Irish washerwoman, and I offered Punch. That Neapolitan heredity of his, artistically speaking, may turn out a glorious mixture if the right environment comes along to choke out all the weeds. I put it up to them as a sporting proposition, and they were game. They have agreed to take him for 1 month and concentrate upon his remaking all their years of conserved force, to the end that he may be fit for adoption in some moral family. They both have a sense of humor and accomplishing characters, or I should never have dared to propose it. And really I believe it's going to be the one way of taming our young fire-eater. They will furnish the affection and caresses and attention that in his whole abused little life he has never had. They live in a fascinating old house, with an Italian garden, and furnishings selected from the whole round world. It does seem like sacrilege to turn that destructive child loose in such a collection of treasures. But he hasn't broken anything here for more than a month, and I believe that the Italian in him will respond to all that beauty. I warned them that they must not shrink from any profanity that might issue from his pretty baby lips. He departed last night in a very fancy automobile, and maybe I wasn't glad to say good-bye to our disreputable young man. He has absorbed just about half of my energy. Friday. The pendant arrived this morning. Many thanks. But you really ought not to have given me another. A hostess cannot be held accountable for all the things that careless guests lose in her house. It is far too pretty for my chain. I am thinking of having my nose pierced, Cingalese fashion, and wearing my new jewel where it will really show. I must tell you that our Percy is putting some good constructive work into this asylum. He has founded the John Grier Bank, and has worked out all the details in a very professional and business-like fashion, entirely incomprehensible to my non-mathematical mind. All of the older children possess properly printed check-books, and they are each to be paid $5 a week for their services, such as going to school and accomplishing housework. They are then to pay the institution, by check, for their board and clothes, which will consume their $5. It looks like a vicious circle, but it's really very educative. They will comprehend the value of money before we dump them into a mercenary world. Those who are particularly good in lessons or work will receive an extra recompense. My head aches at the thought of the bookkeeping, but Percy waves that aside as a mere bagatelle. It is to be accomplished by our prize arithmeticians, and will train them for positions of trust. If Jervis hears of any opening for bank officials, let me know. I shall have a well-trained president, cashier, and paying teller ready to be placed by this time next year. Saturday. Our doctor doesn't like to be called enemy. It hurts his feelings, or his dignity, or something of the sort. But since I will persist, despite his expostulations, he has finally retaliated with a nickname for me. He calls me Miss Sally Lunn, and is in a glow of pride at having achieved such an imaginative flight. He and I have invented a new pastime. He talks Scotch, and I answer in Irish. Our conversations run like this. "Good afternoon to you, doctor, and how's your health today? Ver weel. And how goes it with all the bairns? Sure they all have them doing foon. I'm gey glad to hear it. This salt weather is hard on folk. There's muckle sickness aboot the kintra. Heaven be praised, it has not lighted here. But sit down, doctor, and make yourself at home. Will ye be after having a cup of tea? Hoot, woman, I would not hae you fash yourself, but a wee drap of tea winna come amiss. Whist, 'tis no trouble at all. You may not think that this is a very dizzying excursion into frivolity, but I assure you, for one of Sandy's dignity, it's positively riotous. The man has been in a heavenly temper ever since I came back. Not a single cross word. I am beginning to think I may reform him as well as Punch. This letter must be about long enough even for you. I've been writing it bit by bit for 3 days, whenever I happen to pass my desk. Yours as ever, Sally. P.S. I don't think much of your vaunted prescription for hair tonic. Either the druggist didn't mix it right, or Jane didn't apply it with discretion. I stuck to the pillow this morning. End of Part 12.